Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Stock Durbar with Team William on India. Okay, so let's begin with Nifty 50 setup and a clear disclaimer that whatever levels we discuss, the stocks we discuss, please don't take it as an investment advice. That is just for the educational and the discussion purpose only. So, okay, let's begin with the Nifty 50 setup and then we move to other sectors and then always we go towards the stocks. Okay, so today when we are meeting on 23rd May, it's a good day to meet on the stock Durbar because market has scaled a new high today, and we are almost, just few points away from the 23,000 mark. So if you see over here, the May 3rd to May 13th, that 10 days was a bit tough period for the market. There was a huge FII selling that was coming, and that can be due to the multiple reason. Just sticking to one reason that okay, there was 1-2% voting change here and there in the state that might not justify to Nifty. But yeah, there are broader reasons, China getting back to the good growth, some flows moving towards the China, some profit bookings by the FIIs. Yeah, like the things can move from here. So that can be multiple reasons for a small correction. That was not a correction actually, that was a pullback. That's what you can say because from 22 700 800 to if you see the low is somewhere around 21 800. So at a base of at a height of 22 800, you just corrected, or you can say the pullback was just 1,000 point. We did breach the 50 DMA, but as we discussed last time also, that kitna deep jata hai na wo important hai. No, it was very brief. 1, 2, and 3. Only 3 days it remained below the 50 DMA. On the fourth and the fifth day, it started reclaiming that level and move higher again. So this has happened multiple times that Nifty flirts around the 50 DMA. So over here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this was the sixth instance since January. जनवरी से देखें तो ये छठी बार ऐसा हुआ है कि निफ्टी 50 डीएमए का अराउंड आके प्लॉट करके फिर से ऊपर आ गया. So that is a continuous process in the market. You cannot expect it going higher and higher, but yes, some bits of up down movement do comes. So now if you think we are at a fresh high, even the global market, the US market, which is very crucial one, that is also at a relatively newer height. And the distribution day count that indicates the weakness in the market, the days is just 3, and we are well comfortable about the key moving averages, that is 21 and 50, which are the most important to track when you are in an uptrend. So अभी 21 DMA देखो तो almost 2.5% higher है, और 50 DMA से देखो तो भी हम 3% जितने ऊपर है. So we are quite comfortable over there. And today, as Nifty has reclaimed its new high, so we have changed market status from uptrend under pressure to confirmed uptrend. So abhi note release ho gaya hoga, and in our website also you might have seen that the status has changed to a confirmed uptrend. So now we are in a sweet spot, the best possible time to buy the new stock or to ride your current stock without a fear. So that's a very good environment for the market whenever it is in a confirmed uptrend. So see, market is up almost 7th or 8th session, तो थोड़ा छोटा मोटा 200-300 पॉइंट का इधर उधर पुल बैक होता है. So that doesn't mean our view changes. अभी वो confirm uptrend में है तो वो रहेगा till the time we are holding the 50 DMA. ठीक है, और डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन डे काउंट कंट्रोल में है. वी विल कंटिन्यू टू बी रिमेन रोबस्ट ऑन द मार्केट. वी विल बी इन अ कंफर्म अपट्रेंड. देयर आर ऑलवेज साइंस, कुछ ना कुछ साइन मिल जाएगा हमको. some intraday reversal, some stock breaching the key moving averages that indicates कि okay थोड़ा problem होने लगा है market में. So we will keep looking for those indicators as well if we get any, but if we don't, then we continue to remain bullish on the market. Now, if we talk on the sectorial front, then Nifty Bank, uh, there was an excellent move today. So today's candle is not yet updated on the sectorial fronts, but it is now above 21 DMA. So there was a very strong move in the bank Nifty as well. The volume was also quite decent. So अभी last जो selling आया था May के first half में, that was mainly concentrated in this banking stocks. यहाँ पे काफी सारा concentration था selling का. You can see the volume was also high when the banking stocks were getting sold. It breached 2150, but again वही हुआ 50 से एक दो दिन नीचे रहा and then it again moved higher. So broadly अगर देख results season, the earning season was good for the banks, the PSU banks, the private banks. जो थोड़ा एक निम वाला इश्यू था, जो डिपॉजिट ग्रोथ नहीं मिल रहा था प्राइवेट बैंक्स में, स्पेशली डिपॉजिट ग्रोथ और क्रेडिट ग्रोथ का जो मिसमैच था वो थोड़ा बहुत कम हो रहा है. So overall the scenario is quite robust for the Indian banking system. And as and when the GDP grows, जैसे कि गवर्नमेंट का हायर कैपेक्स मिलने वाला है, तो गवर्नमेंट इज डूइंग लॉट ऑफ कैपेक्स. Okay, the GDP is expected to be like different agency roughly मान लो 7.5 की रेंज, 7 की रेंज भी मान लो इधर उधर. Then also growing GDP expenditure from the government side is always positive for the private as well as the PSU banks. So overall, the banking sector is in sweet spot now. Focusing on particular, if there are few pockets in the banking sector which are having their own problem and then they are not able to perform that well, and that is a different issue. But broadly, as an index, it is doing quite well. If you look at few of the other sectors, auto, it continues to move higher. Okay, there are a lot of tailwinds for the auto sectors. The way the sales of the automobile is in India. Okay, now gradually the two-wheeler sectors में जहाँ पे थोड़ा slow down था वहाँ पे भी थोड़ा green shots आना start हो गया है. There are some positive commentaries related to rural economy trying to get. I'm not saying getting back on track, but yeah, it is on its way to get back on the track. From the FMCG companies as well, we got some similar views this time. So broadly, there are a lot of changes as well. If you see auto sector, mein dekho, the EV is an entire new transition that is coming up. So a lot of companies are doing well over there, and they are being robust. So that's also one reason the auto sector is doing well. Plus, the way the consumption is increasing in India, the demand for a bit higher value cars. पहले की कार की अगर इन्फ्लेशन एडजस्ट करके भी देखो, जो पहले लोग कार्स लेते थे और अभी लेते हैं, तो 10 years बैक का देखो अभी का देखो तो वो डिफरेंस दिखेगा. मान लो कि चलो सोच लो कि इन्फ्लेशन है 7%, वो भी मान के देख लो, देन ऑल्सो द वैल्यू दैट common man or the Indians are spending on automobiles, that is quite higher compared to last 1 or 2 decades. So that has changed a lot of things. Now let's continue with FMCG. If you look at the FMCG index, then it did rebounded well from the 200 DMA in the second half of the April. वहां से वो थोड़ा ऊपर आना स्टार्ट हो गया. फिर मार्केट जब अभी रिसेंटली गिरा था तब 21 और 50 ने होल्ड किया था. इट वाज नॉट लाइक अ मेजर सेल ऑफ ओवर हियर. कम लाइक जैसे बैंक निफ्टी में हुआ था ऐसा प्रॉब्लम नहीं था यहाँ पे. इट वाज होल्डिंग द लेवल्स क्वाइट वेल. एंड नाउ you can see yesterday there was a good momentum over here. Even today I think ITC का रिजल्ट आ गया है. So the result is quite in line. से थोड़ा सा मिस हुआ maybe, but broadly it's good. The cigarette volumes expected से उससे काफी better आया है. And overall the other FMCG companies का भी result that is quite a decent one. So no problem over there. So this is recovering quite a well. The way it has formed a bottom, जो पूरा एक यहाँ पे bottom formation बना है. If you can see over here, it's forming a cup-like pattern multiple times. Trying to hold 200 DMA और वहाँ पे success भी मिला. So that is important while forming a base. 50 DMA पे देखो काफी बार इसको resistance मिला था. Every time it tried to cross 50 DMA, यहाँ पे रेजिस्टेंस मिलता था. बट नाउ फाइनली इन मे इट वेंट अबाउट second half of April, it went about it, and it is trading constructively above that level. So if you look at now, let's see Nifty Realty. This is the index of last year, this year, and it might continue a bit long because the way the projects are getting sold, the way the inventory level is low, जो वैल्यूज मिल रहा है. अभी आप न्यूज़पेपर में देखेंगे फ्रंट पेजेस में कि भाई इतने दिन में इतने हजार करोड़ का sell कर दिया ये companies ने. So that how robust the organized market is as far as the real estate is concerned. So this organized is very important, especially the leading players. They are getting a lot of traction, and it is not like it has penetrated much. जो अभी जो big tier cities है, tier 1 2 cities, वहीं पे एक अच्छा momentum है reality का अगर आप देखें तो. And so all the listed players, they are getting a good buy of this demand that is coming up in the realty sector. So I think most of the stocks doing well at new highs, breaking out of the base, forming base, या फिर already blue sky zone में है. So most of the leading stocks. So this sector continues to do well whenever you get an opportunity in such a sector. If the stock is fundamentally good, mind well. If it is fundamentally good, then you should check that out for the addition to the portfolio. Now, if you look at the IT, again, it is a bit in the struggle. So if you look at the other sectors, they are doing really well, but still Nifty IT is not able to get its momentum back. It is struggling around its 200 DMA. So I think today it reclaimed that level, but it closed just near to that. Now, next to watch out will be the 50 DMA. That is somewhere around 34,500, 600. So that level becomes very, very important. Broadly, like we have discussed a lot of time, the problem associated with the IT sector, जो big ticket size के project है वो execution में delay हो रहा है, margins पे थोड़ा बहुत hit हो रहा है. ओके, एट्रिशन वगैरह का प्रॉब्लम था, बट दैट इज अ पास्ट. अभी वो थोड़ा सेटल्ड हो गया है, बट देर आर फ्यू कंपनीज दैट आर ग्रेजुअली गेटिंग बैक ऑन ट्रैक एज फार एज द मार्जिन आर कंसर्न. जैसे कि टीसीएस है, तो टीसीएस इज वेल एबल टू मेंटेन दिस मार्जिन. कुछ कंपनीज में अभी भी वहां पे प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है, बिकॉज जो डील वो लोग पहले एक्स रुपीज में कर रहे थे, वो अभी 0.8x में करना पड़ रहा है. सो 20-30% वो जो कट आया है, क्योंकि मार्केट में अभी इतनी जो वेस्ट के साइड से यूएस यूरोप से उतना डिमांड भी नहीं मिल रहा है कि ओके these are the projects, especially the larger size. स्मॉलर साइज मिड कैप और स्मॉल कैप आईटीज में इतना प्रेशर नहीं है जितना लार्ज कैप पे है, बट gradually as a sector entire there is some pressure building over here. It might take maybe a quarter or two more, but once it gets resolved, once the index technically goes well and the stocks goes well, this is when you should watch out. Okay, metal stocks doing really well. Index at a new high. The prices of ferrous, non-ferrous, precious, सारे metal के prices अभी ऊपर है. The way the China is economy is rebounding back, that is always good for the metals. Okay, because वहाँ से जो excess dumping वम्पिंग का problem नहीं होगा. So the globally एक metal के prices एक level पे रहेंगे. Okay, even the if you look at the Indian companies, the domestic demand is very robust. अगर स्टील्स का देखें तो जिस तरह से कंस्ट्रक्शन है, ठीक है, सो द डोमेस्टिक डिमांड इज वेरी रोबस्ट. इवन द अदर मेटल्स, द वे आवर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हब्स आर गेटिंग बिल्ट, सो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ अदर मेटल्स, द मेटल रिलेटेड कंपनीज, रियल एस्टेट, न्यू इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, तो ये सब का यूज वहीं पे होता है. एंड दैट्स हाउ these metal related firms are getting a lot of momentum, and it might continue from here. Think we discussed few sectors. If some groups come in between, we might discuss it. But now let's open the floor for the questions. And so as and when your question comes, we will try to discuss whatever is necessary. We will try to answer as many questions as possible. It's a live session. Please do not रिपीटिंग पोस्ट योर क्वेरीज. कई लोग ऐसा करते हैं, एक ही क्वेरी 10-10 15-15 बार डाल दी, बट देन अगेन इट मेक्स अ प्रॉब्लम फॉर एंटायर ग्रुप, क्योंकि लाइव सेशन में हमको स्क्रॉल करके वो फिर से देखना होता है चैट बॉक्स में. सो इट्स बेटर दैट यू पोस्ट योर क्वेरी वंस. मी, वकार, राजशेखर, we three guys will try to answer as many queries as possible.
Thanks, Rishit. I'll start with queries now. I think first question is from June 4th, results perspective. I think that is a very big question and it's very difficult to uh, say what will happen depending on the results. Market analysts might take it as a positive or negative, but what most of the analysts feel is a stable government at the center is what is expected to be good for the markets. And if there is any unstable government or any government which has lower seats or which is possible to broke in future, might have lower confidence among the investors. So that is overall expectations from the market. And on that particular day, definitely VIX is going to rise. That is volatility index, and volatile will be there in the stocks as well, major large cap stocks and also small cap stocks as well. So overall market will be volatile on that particular day, and that's it for the market outlook. So stable government is what is wanted by the analysts for the confidence to put investments in the country. And going to other queries, I'll start with Medanta, that is global health. Not Vedanta, ME Medanta. Okay, it's a stage four cockpit handle base pattern. Recently, it has broken down from the base pattern, and the volume has also increased sharply. Uh, it breached its key moving averages as well, 21-day, May 50, and other key moving averages as well. You can say it's a failed breakout, and also it's a late stage base breakout, so the probability of getting broken down is also higher. So that is the reason we say never chase late stage base breakouts. Stage one, two, at max three is considered as a good stage basis. Stages like four and five and higher bases are considered late stage bases, and it is advised not to invest or not to take positions when there is a late stage base breakout. Can be taken as an example as well for that theory. And the stock has very good ratings. EPS is very strong at 96, but the technicals will deteriorate from here because the because of the breakdown in the stocks price volume action. So definitely there's no point in taking fresh position. And if you are holding it, and if you are if you are looking to exit, and I think it's better to exit. It's already more than 16% from the pivot in last 20 trading sessions. So you might be at loss as well if you are holding, but it is advised to exit at the current market price and invest in stocks which are looking good. As also we have changed the market status to confirm the uptrend today. So definitely you will see lots of stocks breaking out from the base patterns, and probability of those stocks getting higher and higher will be more in this current market status. Okay, there is one question like how you bring volume in the index. It's nothing but volume in the index is nothing but sum of all the stocks volume particularly traded in that particular day. So there are other third-party websites, and NSE also provides that particular data. That data is incorporated in our charts in the bottom section. The next is BDN, Bharat Dynamics. This has done very good actually. This is a again a late stage base breakout, but this has done exceptionally very good. Stage five breakout. Still, it has a potential. It is showing potential of a big winner. It's very rare to find stocks like these which are breaking out from late stage basis and also giving good returns. It can be said as an exception, and reset action is also very strong. You can see price volume action is very good. Stock closing higher and volume also being higher. But in the last three sessions, it's not able to close in the top quartile. You can say top 25% is not able to close. It is closing near the half or in the bottom half. So that might be slightly sign of concern that it might top from here. And if the question is particularly asking about is it good for fresh entry? Definitely, it's not a good time to enter at this particular point because it is extended more than 40% from the pivot. Let's wait for the stock to form a base pattern here and see how the overall stock plays out from there. Also, EPS is due in 7 days, so it's not good to invest in stocks which are going to report in the coming week. Okay, next is Tata Motors.
Am I audible? Hello, hello. Am I
Yes,
audible?
yes, Waqar, you're audible. I'll take this Tata Motors. I can continue afterwards.
Okay, fine. After Tata Motors, I'll take.
Sure,
Just go
sure.
ahead. Thank
Tata, yes, Tata is Motors is trading in stage four flat base. It is slightly below its 50 DMA, but we would like the 50 DMA to be reclaimed and stock to break out from here. It's a late stage base, as we can say, it's a late stage four breakout if it happens. Ratings are slightly, I can say, fair enough, but ABD rating is not looking good. That is, there is more of distribution rather than accumulation. That shows that there is a heavy selling happening in the stock. Whenever it falls, it is falling on higher volume. You can see in the bottom section as well. There are more than a couple of bars which are above average volume on the lower side. So that indicates there might be institutional activity on the lower. That is, they are exiting. That might be the concern. But RS line also come down slightly. Let it improve to 75-80 level, and also by the time it breaks out, it might improve to 75 or 80. And there is still 10% to the pivot. Let's see how it plays out till then, and how the market plays out by the time it breaks out. Currently, it's not good to uh, start investing at this particular point. Let it give a clear breakout and see how the overall market is played at that particular point.
Thanks, Raj. I'll take queries from you. Just give me a second. Scrolling through the queries. So is ACE taken? ACE, NTPC, and PTC?
No, no, it's not
Okay.
taken.
So give me ACE, NTPC. So can you show me? Yeah. So the stock is forming a stage three consolidation base at this moment, and the last couple of days there's some kind of distribution as you can see. But the good part is still there that the stock is trading above all the key moving averages. In terms of if you look from the ratings perspective, all ratings continue to remain very strong and very bullish on the stock. On the fundamental side, ROE of 27% is exceptional, and even the last 4 to 5 quarter results, even more than that, earning momentum has been in uh, consistent phase for this quarter, and even momentum is also increasing for this stock. If you look at the EPS growth for the last 3 to 4 quarters, it's been triple digits, which is a very, very good sign. Fund holding for the stock is also improving. Uh, this base, if we speak about it, I mean, apart from, I mean, distribution in the last couple of days, I mean, there is no major signs of distribution on the left-hand side of the base. Also, when the stock was falling, hardly any sign of distribution was there. But on the flip side as well, if you look at it, no major signs of accumulation as well, apart from one day. But still, the stock is 12% to pivot, and overall, you can see this. It's a very good fundamental story running behind this stock in terms of the infra push, in terms of the overall material handling equipment sector in very good momentum for this company. So when probably the stock breaks out, if it fits into your investment criteria, if it fits into your techno funda view, can definitely have a look. But it can be it's a short stock to at least keep in your buy watch list. The next I'll take a YouTube query, which is Adani Total Gas. You and I mean, if you look at it, the stock. I mean I mean there is no chart pattern at this moment, and even with no chart pattern, there is I mean very abrupt technical I mean movement is there with the stock, and the stock is kind of just moved above its all key moving averages, but it is 24% off high, so which is not a good sign for the stock. So currently not fitting into the Cancelim investment criteria. Going forward, let probably the stock form some kind of base. When the stock forms a base, and if it's a good base in terms of from the technical perspective, then can definitely have a look at the stock. But currently, it's not fitting into the O'Neill investment criteria. Next, we can go is Gale and IOC. Thanks, Raj. The stock is trading 51% from pivot at this moment, and trading around its 21 DMA. And as you can see, the stock is off pivot at this moment. So new entry into the stock is currently not advisable. Let it form a new base. If someone is holding the stock, uh, from the prior breakout can continue to hold so. As you can see, there is good gains with the stock at this moment, and overall ratings are still fine. No major signs of deterioration in ratings. Last few days, there has been some kind of distribution happening with the stock. But you can keep the 50 DMA as your trailing stop loss level. It is pretty close at this moment. If the 50 DMA gets breached, on above average volumes, then can definitely think about moving out of the stock or at least partially booking out of the stock, depending upon your risk appetite. Uh, in tandem with this, we'll just look at one last stock from my end, IOC. Uh, So the stock had a very good momentum from the last breakout, as you can see. It more than doubled, and very good rapid advancements the stock saw. But currently, the only problem with this stock is that the buyer demand at D plus is very good. That means that the stock is showing signs of distribution, and even during the current base formation, as you can see, it is little wide and loose, and on the left hand side of the base, you can see when the stock was falling, the stock was falling on heavy volumes, which is a major concern. And even the 3 to 4 quarter results has been a little abrupt and not up to the mark for the stock. The only saving grace can be the stock is 15% to pivot. If there is some accumulation going forward and the buyer demand rating or the A by D rating improves, then maybe you can have a look. But at this moment, what we can suggest is there are other better stocks moving around in the market, and you can probably have a look at those stocks rather than in not trying to go into a stock which doesn't fulfill most of the O'Neill criteria at this point. Thank you.
Thanks, Wakar. So there is one question from Sneh that is about the views on MCX, BSC, CAM, CDSL. So see, mostly all these four stocks are related to the growth of stock market in India. Okay, the penetration of the market in India, more and more people coming, the way our economy is growing. अभी जैसे market cap बढ़ गया, number of accounts have increased. So directly, indirectly, all these players will have a benefit of it. Now, to enter with stock, exit with stock, it becomes more important about the technicals and the fundamentals. Okay, if a particular company is able to deliver well, अगर मार्जिन एक्सपांड हो रहा है, क्योंकि देखो सिनेरियो तो अच्छा पॉजिटिव बहुत सारी कंपनीज के लिए बहुत सारे हो सकते हैं, लाइक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, रियल एस्टेट, XYZ. Okay, but which company is able to benefit best from it, or they are able to grow best out of it? So that's where you should try to park your money. So if let's like एक आध लेते हैं and then we move to other. If you see the BSE, Okay, the results have been quite good. The consistent sales growth as well as the earning growth is good. The base pattern अच्छा technically एक अच्छा formation हुआ था, you know, after a huge rally for which lasted for at least a year. It went through a period of consolidation, and the consolidation in that the lower volume थे जब भी stock गिरा था. Okay, and see now also last few days when the stock is a bit moving sideways down, there is a low volume. This is a one off. वो न्यूज आया था जो सेबी का फाइन लगाने का, वो 150-200 करोड़ वाला, ये वो वाला था. So that is a different candle. But broadly, if you see, the positive momentum is there, the setup is good. So that is one thing. If it breaches 50 DA, if you are already holding the stock, if it breaches 50 DMA, then you should be very careful. And fresh entry over here. So yeah, it is near the base, but you should have some positive momentum over here to take the fresh entry. But before taking the entry, do your own research and or check with your investment advisor. If you look at CAMS, here also it broke out from a stage one consolidation base. The earnings have been consistent, number of fund holding increase in, ratings काफी अच्छे हैं इसके, ठीक है. The RS strength is at a new high. There is a lot of the cluster of blue dots over here. You can see since last few days it has been moving higher and higher. So if you're already having the stock, then it's good time to hold it. Let it be the big winner. If you want to take a fresh entry, it is a bit extended and you should give it more time before you give the fresh entry. या तो थोड़ा पुल बैक का रहा देख लो या फिर एक नए बेस फॉर्मेशन का रहा देख लो. That is what important. There is one YouTube query, Whirlpool of India. It is forming a stage one cup with handle base. So we recently a breakout हुआ था May 21st को, but it failed. Intraday only fail हो गया, and since then it is a bit नीचे की साइड ही है थोड़ा. री ब्रेकआउट क्विकली हुआ नहीं है, so wait for a re breakout on a higher volume. Okay, the good part is कि जो अभी ये right side of the base इसका बना है, that is quite good. यहाँ पे जो accumulation अच्छा हुआ है, even while handle formation there was a low volume on the downside, and then again some pickup in the volume before it broke out. So this was a good day. These 2-3 days were good. So give it some time. If you're already holding, then you can use 50 or 200 DM as a stop loss. Fresh entry maybe when it re-break out on a high volume. So please mark this word, high volume. That is important. बाकी number of fund holding increase हुआ है. जो व्हाइट गुड्स का सेल्स है वो भी इंडिया में काफी एक इम्प्रूवमेंट देखने को मिला है. दिस अगेन लिंक्स टू द कंजम्पशन स्टोरी ऑफ द इंडिया प्लस द समर. So there's a lot of white goods buying you can see in the summer season. You will see the related to the refrigerators, the ACs, the coolers. There's a huge demand. Even if you go to the market, you just ask at a few places, and you will always find that okay, there is a huge demand. There are no major discounts that needs to be given to sell the goods, and even the inventory level, they will take के भाई 4-5 दिन लगेगा, इस अच्छी running product है तो 10 दिन लगेगा आने में, 2 days 3 days. So that's how it's not like ready मिल जाएगा तुमको, because the goods are in quite demand. So but broadly, yeah, now again it drills down to the fundamentals. So the EPS improvement is good. The sales में भी थोड़ा improvement देखने को मिला था इस बार. So let's see if you are ब्रॉडली देखो तो इसका ईपीएस रेटिंग इतना अच्छा नहीं है, बट लास्ट 1-2 क्वार्टर से अर्निंग्स में इम्प्रूवमेंट आ गया है. सो दैट कैन बी कंसिडर्ड एज अ एंड फैक्टर. लेट मी टेक वन मोर. Next is one more YouTube query, that is JSW Holdings. Here it is forming a stage 2 consolidation base. 50 DMA के अराउंड फंसा हुआ है. Once it reclaims its 50 DMA और breakout होता है, still it is 10% to breakout. So once you see that it covers this 10% on a relatively higher volume और फिर breakout एक volume पे मिलता है, then that is the ideal buy zone. It goes into 0 to 5% ideal buy zone according to the William O'Neill system. Earnings देखे तो last एक September का छोड़ के बाकी it has a good consistent earning. EPS रैंक खराब है तो इसके नीचे वाले earnings इतने अच्छे नहीं होंगे, बट इफ यू सी लास्ट 5 क्वार्टर्स के देखो तो उसमें से एक छोड़ के बाकी सबके अच्छे। फंड होल्डिंग्स में थोड़ा इंक्रीमेंटल हुआ है, अराउंड 8 to 9%। So broadly, technically इतना प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, but still you need to give time, and the major thing is the EPS। 5 दिन में earnings है, तो earnings से पहले position लेना is never a good idea, so let the earnings be out। अगर earnings अच्छा हुआ तो like within a day, 2 week, month, it will cross the pivot and give you an opportunity to buy।
Thanks, Sushit. I'll take few queries. First, I'll start with the IRCTC. I think this is a very, I think every stock number we get to see stock IRCTC being asked. That shows the interest of this stock among the investors, and it continues to show the uh, growth story it has, and it able to report numbers as well according to the projections, and also the stock is reflecting in its price action as well. With this, keeping this in mind, and also the methodology has given us good buy point, and we have added it to portfolio. And currently, we are at a gain of 13% in this particular stock. So that is one disclaimer. So this is our existing portfolio stock, and growth story remains intact. We have seen railways have been good focus by the government of India, and it continues to be because that is one mode of transport which will always be there in the future as well, and lots of improvements will also be seen going forward. So the growth is intact, and IRCT is going to benefit because of which, and catering business is also doing very good, which is a major revenue share. And with the introduction of new trains such as Bharat trains and also other superfast trains are going to give good push or growth to the stock. Currently, growth story is remaining, but currently there is no ideal buy point to enter. It is around 14% from the pivot, so it is extended. We can say it. We continue to hold it until some of its moving average gets breached. Following, we will definitely follow sell rules when it comes to if the stock comes under some kind of selling, and we will accordingly take a call whether to exit or not. But currently, there is no idle buy point, so there is no fresh entry is advised in this particular stock. Next is, I think JSW is taken. So Sangvi Movers. This is our recently ex portfolio stock, you can say, and we have made a very good return. I think around 60 to 70% return we have made, and we are almost exited around start of May, and I think that is also the top. Uh, we try to exit as at least at the top, and we followed a simple rule that is 21 DMA, which was taken as a rule, and we exited. And currently, you can see here short falling has been there from the last 4 trading sessions, and it gave up most of its gains as well. But if you have held it till today from the breakout, our gains would also come down to 20-25% range. So that is always, if you are making good amount of good gain in a particular stock, you should always be cautious, and also profit booking also plays a very major role. Uh, you will make profit only if you book profit, right? If you continue to hold it and if the stock falls, and then definitely you are not going to make the profit. So uh, identifying the top is also a major role, plays a major role in portfolio management journey. And we'll talk about more in detail about these strategies in our seminars, which will be held on monthly basis. But here, technically, we have used 21 DMA breach as a point to exit, and from there, the stock also continued to fall, and volume also increased in the recent 1 week. So definitely, if you are still holding it, we would like to exit it as soon as possible and look out for other stocks which are uh, doing good in the current market. Next is Tata Investment Corporation. It broke out from a stage, very late stage base, and from there the price action has been very uh, wide and loose. You can say it. Sometimes it is hitting upper circuits, and sometimes it is hitting lower circuits. On volume has also completely dried up. Recently, you can see here average volume line has also dropped down. And recently, last 1 month or so, there is no major action happening. It is moving sideways. There is nothing in the volume and nothing on the price action front. So very dead action, you can say. There is not much happening in this particular stock. Ratings still continue to remain higher, but these kind of stocks, you never know what is cooking inside, and it's very difficult to predict as well. And I think EPS is due today. It is mentioned here, so results will be expected to announce. I think it might be released as well. We are not sure. Depending on that, there might be stock might be going higher or lower depending on how it reported results and this reaction to it. I think it's better to wait from here and wait for the stock to form a good base pattern, and also volume should also increase. The volume is very lower in this particular stock, so average buying volume should be on the higher side as well.
Thanks, Raj. I'll take queries from you.
Sure.
Uh, can you give me Zomato? The disclaimer that it's part of our model portfolio and we're still holding it. So at this moment, the stock is 48% from pivot, and as you know that we bought it at the last breakout, and currently still the stock is consolidating around its key moving averages, but at this moment below the 21 DMA, but holding its 50 DMA at this moment. And as we all say that booking profits, as Raj was saying, is equally important. So maybe if the 50 DMA gets breached, I mean on above average volumes, we may book out on the stock. But let's see. At this moment, the stock is holding on to its 50 DMA, which is a good sign. Overall, I mean, the recent quarter result was also good. Fund holding for the stock continues to remain bullish. So more of a technical play or technical view at this moment. There has been some distribution in the past few days. Uh, if the stock reclaims its 21 DMA, then definitely maybe a next set of rally can start. It's a very at a crucial make or break position at this moment. Next, we can look at is JTL Industries, then JTL. Thank you. So very wide and loose base, as you can see. I mean, on the left-hand side of the base, you can see very high. I mean, the stock hitting lower circuits with high amount of distribution, and then on the right-hand side of the base as well, very abrupt pattern. On the EPS as well, last three quarter results have not been that good. Price rating at 30, RS line moving down, not at all a good sign. Even fund holding for the stock is not increasing. So overall, I mean, not fitting into any of the canceling criterias. I mean, if probably had some existing position, I mean, the stock is probably trading above below all key moving averages. So I don't know. uh, should have exited out, or I mean, bottom fishing is seriously not advisable with this stock. And two, even if the stock breaks out, it doesn't fit into the O'Neill criteria. So I mean, from us, it's a clear cut avoid. Intellect design arena. Suppose the recent gap down, I mean, the stock is currently trading below all its key moving averages and kind of formed a bottom and moving higher from there, but still very way below all its key moving averages. On the EPS front as well, if you look at the recent quarter results, it is not being that good. Uh, the recent rally was supported by the previous three-quarter results, as you can see, EPS and the sales growing in high double digits, and that is why you could see the stock breaking out and moving higher. At this moment, the earnings are not being supportive for the stock, and that is why you can see the price, the negative price reaction. One should have exited when it gave chances below the 50 DMA to exit, but at this moment, only 200 DMA is there. I mean, you could have, still holding would have lost to lot of gains. New entry into the stock is currently not advisable. One, let the EPS or on the fundamental front recover a bit, and similarly, let the stock form a new technical base pattern. Once that gets formed, maybe at that moment, a lot of ratings would get improved, and similarly, even the fundamentals would have improved by then. So at that moment would have been a uh, good time to take a call on the on this particular stock.
Okay, I'll take a few of them. There's a question on Aarti Industries. Stock gave a breakout from a stage 1 cup base in the first half of the April. It did went higher for a few days on a decent volume, but then it failed and it again breached its 21 DMA, then it's 50 DMA, and now again it came near 600, जहाँ पे लो से ये base खत्म हुआ था in March. It again came around that level and trying to hold that level. So I think if you're already holding the stock, then you can watch out for 200 DMA because it's already late. ऐसे जब high volume पे 50 DMA breach होता है, that's a good time to exit. But if you're not, then you can watch out for the 200 DMA or maybe the 600 level, which is very crucial. And यहाँ पे हर बार support मिला है इसको last 2-3 महीने से. On the flip side, fresh entry not suggested over here. Let it reclaim its key moving averages और जब ये वापस एक अपने buy zone में आता है, that is the time you can watch out for this. Earnings have not been consistent. बहुत poor earning strength है. Like the other chemical companies, यहाँ पे भी earnings momentum break हो चुका है यहाँ पे भी. So it needs to get back. The EPS इतना ग्रोथ नहीं मिला. हाँ, सेल्स में थोड़ा ग्रीन शॉट्स दिख रहा है, बट आई थिंक द ग्लोबली द प्राइसेस ऑफ द केमिकल्स नीड्स टू इम्प्रूव, एंड ये यहाँ पे बॉटम लाइन में रिफ्लेक्ट भी होना चाहिए. The top line as well as bottom line both needs to get improved. So the chemical stocks went through a very good bull run for a few years. Okay, so now I think they are again consolidating, correcting, and once it picks up, that is when you should start investing your money over here. So that's what O'Neill psychology is, that whenever the stock is forming a good base, coming out of the base, plus the fundamentals are good, एक अच्छा यू नो फिर से एन फैक्टर शुरू हो जाता है, जब फिर से अर्निंग ग्रोथ आना शुरू हो जाता है, दैट इज द टाइम व्हेन यू शुड गो फॉर इट. सो देयर आर अदर really good opportunities in the market that you get it on a daily basis. So it's always better to go and scout for those opportunities rather than trying to be the long-term investor in the ITs and chemicals. But yeah, if it's that style of investing is your, that's excellent. That has also delivered a great result over the time. Okay, few more I can take. NTPC, MRPL. So here the earnings are due tomorrow. So I think you will get a good picture of NTPC the tomorrow's after tomorrow's session or maybe during the session. But technically it has got a good support at 50 DMA. अगर यहाँ पे आप देखें तो दो बार से 50 DMA पे एक अच्छा support मिल रहा है. So if you are holding the stock, then I think the 50 DMA becomes crucial to hold. On the flip side, wait for the fresh high to get broke out, because 375 पे यहाँ पे अटका था, फिर से 380 पे अटका था। And so there is an intraday reversal ये level पे. So I think once it closes about these levels, ये 375 80 के ऊपर एक बार बंद हो जाता है, then that is when you should watch it out. But it will be again an extended one. So the good entry over here is like if it comes to 50 DMA और फिर से वहाँ से rebound होता है, then that is the ideal time to go for this, or some base formation. ऐसा कोई base formation हो जाता है यहाँ पे, then you can obviously watch out for this. Otherwise, the sector is good. The power sector, जो अभी power की demand है इंडिया में, that is at a fresh high, and the infrastructure growth that is going on in India, and it will continue. तो infra growth हो रहा है, that power में भी काफी पैसा आएगा, and there is a huge power demand that is coming up in India. Manufacturing hub बनना है, make in India करना है. ठीक है, we are talking about the white goods, we are talking about the real estate infrastructure. तो हर जगह पावर का जो यूज है वो तो रहेगा. सो हियर इज अ गुड growth story, the good tailwind that awaits NTPC. एंड प्लस जो पुराने ड्यूज होते हैं अभी जो पावर सेक्टर में, वो लोन का प्रॉब्लम था, बैंक्स दे नहीं रहा था, ये लोग पुराना लोन दे नहीं पा रहे थे, पूरा सेक्टर है ना वो जैम हो गया था, ट्रैफिक जैम हो गया था. अभी वो ओपन अप हो गया है, and I think now as in when the signals are well in place, then these guys are ready for a long term smooth rally. Okay, next I can take is EID Pari. Here it formed a consolidation base. यहाँ भी कल result है. So let's see after result if it breaks out and you see there is some turnaround in the result, some N factor that comes up in the management commentary, then you can watch out for this stock. Because technically अच्छा सेटअप है, प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. देखो यहाँ पे पूरा इतना कंसोलिडेट हुआ, बेस बना, वॉल्यूम एकदम ड्राई अप था. सो दिस इज व्हाट इज पॉजिटिव. ओके, बट यहाँ पे अभी धीरे धीरे वॉल्यूम आना स्टार्ट हुआ है. यू नीड सम मोर वॉल्यूम ऑन द ब्रेकआउट. प्लस ये जो 660 के अराउंड का जोन है, जो 40 to 60, वहां पे काफी बार ये रेजिस्टेंस मिला है. नाउ if it breaks out of this zone, then you might see some good momentum in this stock. एक head and shoulder को resemble कर रहा है ये. But let's see, the most important part will be the earnings that comes out tomorrow. How is there some improvement in the EPS? Sales growth बढ़ता है या नहीं बढ़ता है? And what is the management comment on the future outlook? So that's what needs to be watch out for each pairing.
Thanks, Rishit. I'll take queries. I'll start with the Midani. I think it is forming a stage pattern here, and it's a cup-based pattern. It's forming, and there is still 12% to the pivot. And if you talk about the ratings, EPS is slightly on the lower side. It is at 26, and the EPS is also been expected to be announced in 5 days. So in the upcoming week, we expect EPS, that is results. So that might improve if the company comes up with good set of results. Exceptionally, this profit should increase. The last 2 quarters, bottom line has been on the lower side. There is some sales growth which happened in the December quarter, but we would like to see that number also in double digit around 20 to 30%, and EPS also growing in similar terms. Then EPS rating will improve. Technicals are fair enough, I can say. RS rating is at 72. ABD rating is at highest at A plus. That is very good. That shows institutions are still accumulating the stock, which is a very positive sign. And now currently it is not advised to take a fresh entry. There are two reasons for it. It is still trading in the base pattern, and also the next is earnings are expected to be reported in the upcoming week. So we need to wait and watch how the company reports its earnings, and let's take a call after the earnings being announced. Next is Gensar Technology. The stage one breakout, it happened, but it's not a convincing breakout as you can see here. After breakout for a brief moment, it is closing below the pivot. I think it has not closed above pivot anytime. So that shows it's not a convincing breakout, and also it has a retracing back towards its 50 DMA and finding support at its 50 DMA, which is a positive sign. But we would like to see after breakout stock finding momentum and also moving higher from there and from there. But that is not happening here. I think earnings sales growth was just 1% for the last for the March quarter, but earning EPS has been going in good numbers, but sales have not been growing on the similar terms. Number of funds have also declined slightly in the recent quarter. Uh, that there is no major push up for this stock from here to take it forward. So I think it's better to wait and see, look out for other stocks which are looking good from other sectoral spaces. Next
And we
week.
can take one tire stock and then close the session.
Okay, sure. I think yes, CET and Apollo have been asked. We can look into those stocks. CET has broken out in the last year, I think in the December around that period. From there, it moved higher, but started to fall from there as well. It started to fall after making a high around almost 3,000 level, and from there it fell and it reached its moving averages. Currently, it is trading below its 200 DM as well, which is the long-term moving average. And for any stock, trading below 200 DM is not a very good sign. Ratings have also been on the similar side. EPS has been poor. RS rating has also come to poor category at 25. So, in terms of price volume, actually, it is not looking good as well. So, definitely not a good place at this current moment. This stock, and you can look at Apollo Tire as well, how that is placed. And let's see if there is any similar action in the Apollo. Not much similarity, I can say. It's a slightly better placed in terms of price volume action and ratings. But if you look at if you compare with overall other stocks, still a laggard, you can say. RS is at 44. That is still 13% to the pivot. When the market is trading at all-time highs, the stock is not showing signs of improvement. That shows that it is a laggard. So you can say that overall CET and Apollo Tyres both are being in the laggard category, are not looking good at the current moment. We would like to see improvement in that overall sector, and maybe sales have not been going good, and margins have also not been on the higher side. Let's see how they play out in the upcoming quarter. And until then, I think we need to wait in terms of tire stocks. Also, I think most of the stocks have been answered by three of us. I think mostly we try to answer as many as possible. And if you still feel left out of your stocks, you can write to us an email. We'll take some time and reply to your stocks. The same methodology which we have discussed in this session will be explained in that email as well. So you can write to us an email, and we'll definitely reply to your queries. Thanks everyone for joining this session. We hope it was a good learning experience for every one of us here. Yes, a mail ID has also been given in the chat box. You can copy that mail ID and keep in your sticky notes so that in future, if you find any stocks, if you want any stocks to be answered, they can definitely can write to us on email. Yeah, Rishit, I think we can close this session.
Yes, Raj. So that's it for the day. Thank you, everyone. And next time when we join, we'll have the election results out, and I think that might be a different talk that time. So
Sure, sure,
let's see where the market takes us then, and let's not, presume with the noise, that
definitely.
is coming, and be, very diligent with the levels that you have watch out for.
Yeah, yeah,
That's it for the day. Thank you.
yeah. Thanks, thanks everyone for joining. I think we are closing this session now.